It's not just only learning that you get an employment. It is through your skill which you develop that the child gets their employment. Children have to use their critical thinking, analytical, logical thinking, and problem solving methods are there in the case study. Teacher has to be professionally developed and equipped to face the students and to face the questions that the children ask them. This technology has brought all the people closer to us, so learning is very convenient for everybody, ma'am.
Hello and welcome to Great Principles. I'm your host Seema Chhoriya. Great Principles is an educational and interactive talk show that brings together best school leaders globally. And here we are today with a very interesting session which is based on skill-based education. In today's world, traditional education system is no longer enough to equip individuals with the skills that they need in their careers. Skill based education focuses on developing practical skills and competencies that are high in demand in the future life. Throughout this session, we will explore the various benefits of skill based education, including its ability to bridge the gap between education and employment, improve career prospects, and enhance the overall quality of life. We will also discuss challenges associated with implementing skill based education and explore potential solution to these challenges. Joining me in conversation is the expert of the day, Dr. Joy Thomas. She is principal of Good Shepherd School, Karaikal, Puducherry. Welcome to Great Principles, ma'am. We are very honored to have you with us.
Vanakkam. Thank you, ma'am.
So, ma'am, before we, dive into the topic that is of skill-based education and which is very much talked about everywhere, we would first like to understand a little about you. What has been your journey into education? What motivated you to join this education domain, and what keeps you going in here?
So, about my journey in education starts from my family, my mother, my mentor and guide. She was an educator for 34 years, and she's my inspiration and role model to join as an educator. She was very loving, compassionate, and kind towards the children whom she taught. And that inspired me, and she is my role model for being an educator.
So, ma'am, I'm sure this journey must have been filled with some of the challenges and some of the proudest moments. So, we would like to know, understand a little more on that.
So, ma'am, it's almost 2 decades that I am a principal. Okay. So, I was married in the age of 21. So, right after my bachelor's degree. And then I was just sitting in the house. And then my mother had come and she said, no, every girl has to keep studying and the journey should go on. And she was the role model who made me do my further education. Even after the birth of my first daughter, I had gone for regular college MPhil in hardly 15 days of my delivery cesarean operation. I had gone for regular college MPhil. So that was the model, and my family, my husband, Mr. Thomas, had been a great moral support for me, supporting in taking care of the kids, and my dad, all uh, family together have uphold me and made me whom I am today. I'm Vice President of Rock City Sahodaya and then Executive Member of Puducherry Sahodaya, and then I am District Training Coordinator for 78 schools and Review Committee member. And our schools are associated with United Schools Organization of India, Delhi, where our child has won the Financial Literacy Award among 100 schools. The child has won, and this March 23rd, 24th, we are having the award function in Delhi. So these are all the schools which are organizations which are associated with our school. Last year, I had been given the Best Principal Award by IIHM Bangalore, and then given the Sushma Swaraj Icon Award 2020, in the year 2020. And then this year, I had also been given Abdul Kalam Award by the former governor of Tamil Nadu, Mr. Rosaya, for doing social work. And then I've been given the Women Entrepreneur and Woman Icon Award by the MLA of Karaikal, Mr. Najim. So these are some of my achievements which have been given.
So, ma'am, your journey is the very right example that when women join hands together, miracles happen, and the women, they have immense strength in them. So it's up to, when they all are together, they can make anything happen. And ma'am's journey also teaches us, to my dear viewers, especially this one is for you, that do not, if a woman, if your daughter, if your daughter-in-law has married at a younger age, support her, and with your support only she can change the face of the generations which are going to follow her in the same family. So this is very much needed now, and gone are the days when we would expect, I think, during ma'am's time, ma'am would have just faced this many places where many of her uh, peers would have been homemakers, and yet she was studying and she got this opportunity, and I'm sure today she's so proud and she's very grateful to her mother. So this is what we want to set. This is the kind of family culture that we need to develop, to give wings to our daughters and especially our daughter-in-laws. So this is what is needed, and ma'am's journey, in very brief, she shared some very big messages for us here. So moving ahead in our conversation, ma'am, like you developed a lot of skills as you started working, started teaching, and gradually, and now it's been 2 decades as a school leaders, yet your skills keep on multiplying. Now we are talking, now these days, there is a lot of sessions going on skill based education, its importance, that our education doesn't make children productive enough. So what are your thoughts here, ma'am? How can we make our children more skilled so that they can face the world which is unforeseen? There are so many things which are coming up which we are not aware, and technology is disrupting. We don't know what kind of career options will be available in future. So what is that the future? How can we make our children future proof?
Ma'am, CBSE is really come up with the need of the hour. That is the skill based education. Like from 6 to 8, we have so many skills that the board has recommended for every school student to follow. Like, for example, they can take beauty, then they can take information technology, then they can take artificial intelligence, and then you can take health and wellness, and they can take physical fitness, and agriculture, horticulture, and tourism and travel, banking. So many skills are there from right from the age of 6th standard to your 12th standard. So the children have a vast opportunity in front of them. They can choose the future. So their employment will not be a question mark for them, because it's not just only learning that you get an employment. It is through your skill which you develop that the child gets their employment. And this is very important for the socio-economic growth of our country. So this skill-based education, every student has to undertake. You can take whatever skill the child is interested in. It's not that the whole class must choose a particular skill. It is according to the keen interest of the child. The child chooses the particular skill and shines, and the future is developed for the child. So in our school, we have agriculture, we have information technology, we have web application for the children, and children just enjoy the skills. Even we have yoga classes for the children where they can become yoga tutors. So these are all what to say, life giving skills, and which makes their life enriched. So I would compliment every student to please ask the school what skill is available, and to kindly pursue that skill and enjoy learning, because learning gives you creativity, and creativity gives you knowledge, and knowledge is life for itself. And with only just limited knowledge, you can't say I know life. Okay, learning is an endless journey. So life, every day we have to learn new things. Even this technology, before corona, who knew about the Zoom or other innovators? So I will not say that you should not say no to technology. Children should learn technology as well, but parents must know the screen time limit, how the screen time should be limited. Everything should be in the proper level for the student to learn. That will be my talk about skill based education.
Right, ma'am. So, there are so many things, so many different kind of career options available now. So, how at school level, ma'am, do you map up the desired subject that the child would want to, opt for so that he can pursue that, so that he can, enter into that career option going ahead? And then there are so many skills which are required, and not every school have all kind of skills that they can equip the child with. So, how do you bridge this gap? How do you make the child equipped with the necessary skills?
Ma'am, in school level, we have science expose. Okay. So the child is not forced on a particular topic. The child is given the freedom to choose the topic. So the child will choose the topic which the child likes. So, the child loves this particular topic. Child loves computers. This child loves horticulture. She is more related with art and craft. So, you will be able to identify, because in a science exhibition, you have art integration, you have computers, you have robotics, you have mathematical solutions and puzzles, then you have occupations. So, according to the desire and need of the child, the skill is chosen by the child. Even if you don't have a tutor at present in the school, every school can opt for an online tutor, and then you can have practical classes nearby. They can have hands-on experience in the field for agriculture. Near the school, you will have fields naturally in around the 5 or 10 or 15 kilometers radius. The child will be available for the practical classes and sessions. So there's no limit to learning at all. This technology has brought all the people closer to us. So learning is very convenient for everybody, ma'am. The skill based education.
Very true, ma'am. You reminded me of Kidzania, which is there in many cities, and I really love to take my children there because it gives them the flavor of the real life. They get to live the life. There is someone who has to pretend to be a dabbawala person who delivers tiffins. Then someone is a
Yeah,
journalist. Someone is the
yeah,
pet rescue one. Someone is
yeah.
firefighter. Someone is just baking something. So all these different kind of role model plays are there, which a child get to do in the span. So, ma'am, you are very right in telling that there are so many options available nearby. You explore them. You have technology at your fingertips now. You can very well understand and adapt the skills. It's not necessarily always for us to point that school doesn't have this. Even we as parents have a responsibility of giving that kind of exposure to our children, right? So, ma'am, now coming up to my next question. So, ma'am, we are talking so much on that we should map our education with skill learning. So, ma'am, going ahead, as NEP has also laid down a lot of things, what would be the examination pattern, do you think? Yeah, is it time to take more practical examination and project based examinations are needed?
Ma'am, CBSE is leading us in the right way, ma'am. Like, they are giving you case based studies where children have to use their critical thinking, analytical, logical thinking, and problem solving methods are there in the case study. You just can't have rote memory and do your examination. And the board gives you papers in such a way that the child is put to a test to think, apply the knowledge, and to recollect what the child has learned, and then the child is able to get the marks in the answer paper. So that's how the question papers are. Board is also designing them according to the problem solving methods, because life is a very challenging task, and children must be able, we have to make them face the challenge. So this holistic development is needed for the child's future. So that's how the board prepares the students, ma'am.
Very rightly said. the educational boards, the government, everyone is doing their bit, and even at schools, the school management, school leaders, they are also planning and executing the things so that the child become a problem solver and a lifelong learner, because these are the things that are going with him for a long way. So, ma'am has rightly pointed out that yes, the schools boards keep on changing and revising their examination pattern also, so that they evaluate the child on all the angles, on all the necessary skills. And I do remember that CBSE has this wonderful thing called CCE, though it couldn't go on for long, but that was again a very wonderful technique which was designed so that they can evaluate the child in all the parameters. So dear parents, have faith on different kind of solutions which are being provided by different educational boards and government, and do your bit and see that your child also thrives in ever changing world. So now, ma'am,
And
we move. Sure, ma'am.
ma'am, I
Yeah.
would like to also suggest that the board just on a sudden surprise doesn't give you these studies and other things. Like I'm a district training coordinator for 78 schools. So each teacher should be professionally developed for 50 hours of online training programs we give them, ma'am. So until the teacher gets this training program, they cannot face the students because children are very smart. So the teacher has to be professionally developed and equipped to face the students and to face the questions that the children ask them. So professional development of every teacher is very important for this uh, year, ma'am.
Absolutely, ma'am. Whether you talk about the student-centric education or the learner-centric education, it is the teacher who is at the core, because she's the one who is to ensure that whatever has been given to her is delivered in the right manner and the child has understood it in the right direction. So, ma'am, you very rightly pointed out, and that actually was my next question: that how shall we empower our teachers? And ma'am actually gazed it prior only. So now, moving ahead to the next segment of the show, ma'am. This is called the rapid fire round. Here we would ask you some personal questions also, so that our viewers get to know a little more about you as a person. So we will start with the very first question, ma'am. You have to answer me in one word or one sentence would also do.
Okay,
Okay.
fine.
So here comes my very first question to you. Who has been the biggest influence on your life?
Mom,
My mom. I thought so. All right. Moving ahead to my next question to you. Are you watching any podcasts or do you follow any OTT series
about education, I follow, ma'am.
about
Surya Vanshi.
education?
Yeah, I follow.
Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook? Where can we see your social media profile?
I'm not much of a social media person. I have accounts of Facebook, Insta, and other things. It's not like I want to project my own face and put my own pictures for people to know what I ate and what I'm dressing and other things. I'm a little private person, ma'am.
All right. Moving ahead to my next question. What are your hopes for what future holds for you?
Happiness.
Right. If the generations to come would get to watch this episode, what is that piece of wisdom that you would like to give to them?
One day at a time.
All right. Okay. If you get a chance to meet any person living or dead, who would you like to meet?
Jesus.
Okay, Jesus. All right. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Trichy.
Okay. When did you first find out that you wanted to be an educator?
I think it's been in my blood.
All
My
right.
parents, from my parents. So just like you needn't teach a fish to swim. So it's been there.
Wow. And suppose if you didn't turn out to be an educator, what would be the other field that you would have gone into?
Health, healthcare.
Okay, healthcare. All right. So either ways, you wanted to serve people, right? I think
Yes,
that is what you want to do. All right.
yes.
So moving ahead to my next question. If you could bring anything back from the Gurukul system of learning, what would you bring back?
During my younger days, we had Pat met cat, cat had a hat, and all that rhyming times of education we had. My teachers had taught me, so that would be nice.
Yeah, because the things that we rhyme, we can easily remember them. The moment
Yeah.
we get into the right tone, all the words start falling, and it goes for years. That is stored in your core memory. That is the beauty of it. So, moving ahead to my next question, how would you like your students to remember you?
Joyful person, friendly,
Mhm. Friendly. All right. Coming up to my
easily
next,
approachable.
easily approachable. All right.
Yes,
Tell me about how did you felt when it was your first day as a teacher?
it was really exciting. I started my career as a UKG class teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were so bubbling with energy, and it was exciting to be along with them and to make them do things, to explore things along with them. It was exciting.
So exciting. You were very, very excited, and the little faces around you filled your heart with so
And
much joy.
doing charts every day, we had to do a chart for them
Okay.
because we want them to be excited, and I can see the eyes light up when I bring them some flashcards and other things. So every day mom used to help me, and both of us used to do charts, different charts for them. So they had a new thing to see every day. We didn't have this edicom and other things at those days.
Hmm.
I'm talking about 1998,
Right.
97. We
Right.
didn't have Edicom at those days.
Yeah, I
So the
think.
charts was the things which made the class lively.
Yeah, those were the days. Then we were only focused on what our teacher was doing. If teacher said 2 plus 2 is 5, we had to go and fight with mommy that no, she told us it's 5 and it's 5. You
Correct.
can't argue on that. So those were those lovely, beautiful days.
I remember
So
doing a chicken chart, taking all the eggshells and then collecting and sticking it on and other things for them to really feel the eggshells. All that
wow.
I did, I remember all that.
Yeah, those were some wonderful practices that were there, and I think they are even today fun to do. So, moving ahead to my next question, there one thing about you which many of the people would not know.
One thing about me,
Yeah,
I'm a Bharatanatyam dancer.
wow, all right. So, I'm sure today many students might come after this episode and say, "Ma'am is our Bharatanatyam dancer," and we would
During
want to
my school
watch her.
days, I traveled all around the world for Bharatanatyam, all over around the world for
Wow.
Bharatanatyam.
So, ma'am, what else do you do? I mean, I got to know that you are a Bharatanatyam dancer. So, apart from being an educator, a dancer, what are the other things that you do passionately?
I do gardening.
Hmm.
Then I love playing with pets, dogs, fishes, birds.
Wow. All right. So, now moving ahead to the last question in this segment. If you were to change one thing in current education system, what would you like to change?
The examination system.
Much needed. I think I swear I mean even I would couldn't agree more on this that only one thing that I'll change this examination system.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Like
seriously.
Finland. Like Finland, we have to bring, might be.
Yeah, very true. The
Yeah.
examination not only stresses students, parents are also stressed, teachers are also stressed, and ultimately the all joy of learning vanishes somewhere and running behind just the marks and getting the answers correct, forgetting whether we understood the concept or not.
The
So,
stress that the children undergo before
yeah,
going for an examination, they have nausea and so many whatnots.
yeah. No,
That
I can certainly validate on that because even my own daughter, I don't know, though her school is not strict, neither are we that kind of people, those who would judge her on her marks. But during her exams, did she feel always nauseatic and she would like, can you drop me to school rather than me traveling by my school vehicle? So this do happens, my dear viewers, and I'm definitely here to vouch for it. So this was Dr. Joy Thomas with us on our show, sharing some wonderful memories from her life and some education tips on how we can imbibe our children with necessary skills for life. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your time with us. And I'm sure, my dear viewers, today's session was very informative, thought provoking, and very, very engaging. So, this was Joy Thomas, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time with us. I truly appreciate your time, and we at Great Principles feel very, very privileged to have you.
Thank you. God bless.